All right. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Happy Tuesday, February 24th. All right. We'll be getting started right now with our Smart Money broadcast. But before we do, I just want to give thanks to God for another glorious morning. Here comes our first announcement.
Structure not prediction, mark SPX and XPS, high lows swap and liquidity.
All right, yes, at 5:30 every morning I get this announcement that today is about probabilities, not predictions, okay? And that's what our smart money roadmap is designed to do, is give us the highest probable outcomes for today's action, price action to be more specific. I need to read this disclaimer real quick. I am sharing this for informational purposes only. It is my own proprietary system as a result of my own research and its strategy. It is a strategy that I use in my own real account. While it's principle-based strategy, the strategy is subject to change. By sharing my trading activities, it's not a solicitation for me to buy or sell securities for others. Trading involves risk with possible loss of principal. Sharing my live trading sessions should not be construed as investment advice. With that being said, just a quick, brief update on the things that are going on in the world. The latest news are the tariffs, which does not seem to have impacted the S&P very much. I'm not going to say at all, but not very much. As we're going to see, we're looking at the ES futures right now. And it's pretty much lined up the way it's, I'm not going to say always has been, but pretty close to its usual performance. And so for the Smart Money Roadmap, what we're going to do is take a screenshot of what we're looking at here. I'm going to clean up the chart a little bit. We still have the boxes from yesterday, so I'm going to get rid of the boxes. Hopefully you enjoyed the box strategy. We'll be employing that again. I had an idea to draw it in two halves. Should the price flip on the VWAP, I'll redraw the box. That would have helped towards the end of yesterday, which brings me up to another point, is the 12-to-1 trade. Now, I know we've got some tribe out there that have regular jobs. You know, as I said before, I am what I consider a professional day trader. This is my job. This is what I do. This is my study. This has turned into my life's work. It's been quite a blessing for me to have this revelation and to be the recipient of what I believe are the keys to abundance. There is no shortage of money in the market, and there's definitely a blessing with my name on it. I've been enjoying it. A lot of wins, but quite a few losses, and that's what we learn from, are the losses. So the whole idea is to get 1% better every day and not lose our trades, right? So the box strategy is one of the strategies we'll be going over to help us with our entries and exits, which are just as important as the entry. Timing the exit is crucial. as well. And it's not something that we get a lot of practice over. Like, we can practice time and time again entering a trade, just going through the actions and steps. However, when it comes time to close, we only get that opportunity when it's time to close. Which brings me to the next point is we have to extend our learning beyond the live streams that I do. The whole objective is to get 1% better every day, and that does require you to do some of your homework. Like, I can't at this point show you how to close a trade on the Robinhood platform because it's not a platform that I'm using currently. I'm currently using TradeStation, and the close is, they're all similar but different. So YouTube University can show you how to close a Robinhood trade. So take it upon yourselves, do a little additional homework, and you'll get proficient in no time. Which brings me to another point is that the average trader, average investor, I'll say, spends about 6 minutes investing. 6 minutes before they actually put their money into an investment. So no wonder most traders and investors lose. They don't really study, and you just have to study. I mean, like, we can read, we listen to different podcasts and shorts every day. Most of us are on our phones listening to something all day, every day. So why can't we allocate 6 minutes to do a little research, answer a question about, trading? To me, it's the most opportune field in the world. I mean, to create wealth in trading is easy, I would say. Like, the investment is small compared to starting a business in any other way, investing in real estate, just all the primary ways to create wealth. There's investing, there's real estate, and there's building a business. And out of the three, investing and particularly options trading is the easiest, most profitable, once you know what you're doing, way to do it. With that being said, kind of went on a tangent there. I was headed towards the 12-to-1 trade for the professional people out there that have jobs and so forth. Once we get started, I will be going into the, I've created a strategy and a checklist to help us place that 12-to-1 trade because everything tightens up during that hour. The spreads, the volume, it doesn't move, the price doesn't move as much. However, the premiums get real tight. So the return to risk gets real tight, and it actually caused me to stall yesterday because I'm huge on risk management right now. That you guys are, starting to tune in. We've got more tribe, showing an interest and tuning into the live stream. So it causes me to be extremely careful because I don't want to make any bad moves in front of you, right? So I find myself over analyzing, and which is okay. It means that I'm not chasing trades that I don't see being profitable. However, there is a strategy and a method to most all things regarding the stock market. There's always probabilities, and I'm dedicated to coming up with formulas and systems to get to the probabilities. So what I've come up with is a method that will narrow down the probabilities in that 12 to 1 hour. So about 11:30, if you're able to tune in, I know like this is a pretty long stream. I'm with you most of the day, including times when it'll go down or just stop. I'll restart it. So just so you know, once I notice, I'll step away every now and then. I'll let you know when I'm taking a break. Speaking of which, I am going to go over a little schedule with you right now because I've got some things coming up today. So you can expect me to be live today during quarter one, which is 6:30 to 8 a.m. I will be present. Okay, I may take a 10 or 15 minute break to refill the coffee or what have you. But for the most part, I will be streaming during that time. Quarter two, let's go back to quarter one. Basically, it's trap and discovery. So a lot of traps going on. I missed a really big trade yesterday. I stood down on it. It was at the top of the box. But it was during the first 15 minutes of volatility. I typically don't trade during those first 15 minutes of volatility. But from now on, if I see that price has gone to the high, the previous day's high, and created a new high, well, that's the top of the box. That's time to enter. So that would have been a good entry for the first trade, although it came during the opening volatility. So that's something to keep in mind. However, quarter one is trap and discovery, so a lot of traders are during quarter one chasing the opening, and it's going to reverse most times. Most times it shoots straight up, and it just will do a reversal real fast, and traders have entered their trades and they're trapped in them. You'll see what I mean. I'll point it out as it happens, but we avoid those traps. And which brings me up to another point is I did an overnight trade yesterday because I didn't see the 12 to 1 trade. So I felt like I haven't done one of those in a while. It should, from the looks of things, it should be a profitable trade. I'll be closing out first thing this morning. Overnight trades, I look to get out of those as fast as possible, meaning that I'll take, a smaller percentage because the premium was actually pretty decent. And so, again, that brings up another point is the enemy for traders is greed. I can't explain to you how many trades I've been in personally that were green. And I stayed in them too long trying to get a little bit more, and it turned red and I lost money. So it got to a point to where, I saw green, it was $1,000, and I started thinking to myself, when is $1,000 not enough in a trade? I'm trying to get 1,500, I'm trying to get 2,000, and it turned against me and I ended up losing money. So the battle is against greed. So remember I said that it's okay to take, 10, 15, 20% on a trade. We'll be going over things here which will, identify like, okay, well, can I get more? When you see the prices hitting a support or resistance level, it's time to get out of that trade because it could reject that level. It doesn't have to accept it. It may not go up more. So take your profits. The money's in the charts. So you'll be able to see why the price is, going up and down and doing the impulses. So with that being said, let's go through this our schedule for today. So quarter two is decision and expansion. It's from 8 to 9:30. So I'll be most likely taking a break right there at the 8 o'clock. Most of you know that I'm a personal trainer. So I have a client at 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. So I'll definitely be away from 10 a.m. to about 11:30. We'll just call it 11:30. At that point, we'll be going over the strategy for the 12 to 1 trade. All right, so I'm looking at maybe 2 to 3 trades today. Okay, so we're looking at one day trade. I have one day trade available on this trade station platform account that I'm using. I'll be back tomorrow once I have my Tradier account set up. So basically, I'm working from 3 different accounts, which gives me 9 trades. I was talking to one of my bros, and he mentioned that you can have multiple platforms and have more day trades available. Well, I got to get a shout out to Coach John. I don't think he minds, me mentioning that was his tip. And it made me stop and go, oh, and true enough, you can have multiple accounts. It's not, it's not against the law. It's not, you don't get penalized for it. It's acceptable and it's okay. But you do have to track your number of day trades and not exceed 3. So you get 3 on a 5-day roll. So they start falling off on day 5. So with that being said, I've got one day trade on trade station. The hold to expiration trade does not count as a day trade on SPX. So let me clearly identify that as SPX, that it will not count as a day trade on if it goes to expiration and it closes on its own. But if you close it, it does count as a day trade. So keep that in mind. If you don't understand, there is a workshop that I'm doing on Saturday at 1 p.m. I did have to cancel last weekend's session on Saturday, but this one, God willing, we'll be able to get it done. No emergencies, big bucks, no whammies. Okay, so quarter 3 is accumulation and distribution, 9:30 to 11. 9:30 to 11, which is about the time I'll be taking a break. And then quarter 4 is 11 to 1. I'll be getting back and we'll be getting ready and prepping for the closeout strategy. I'll be reviewing that with you, and should be a lot of fun. All right. So that's the schedule for today. Most important part is I will most likely be in and out 8 to 9:30. I'll be in and out, and at 10 o'clock I will be at the gym training a client, and I'll be back at 11:30. Okay, so with that being said, if the stream should go down at any point, I will bring it back up and start the stream over again. So you don't have to worry, is he coming back? Yes, I will be back. Okay, so now's a good time to take a screenshot of what you see. I'm going to clean this up a little bit. Hopefully you got your own charts up and not relying on mine for everything. However, I will clean this up. I'm just going to get rid of the boxes from yesterday. I have Bloomberg playing in the background, so hopefully it's not too loud and you're not picking that up. Because, I don't have it that loud, so you would not be able to hear it. No, much going on in the news right now. Anyway, okay, you know what? Huh. Okay, we're not gonna get too crazy here. All right, I got it cleaned up a little bit more. Um,
President Trump's second year in office is struggling with erratic messaging, policy reversals, and seeking poll numbers. Former Republican Congressman Patrick McHenry of North Carolina, now a Bloomberg News contributor, tells Bloomberg Daybreak there's plenty for the president to talk about.
So the question of tariffs and how the president's going to respond to speak to this massive buildup of troops and air power in the Middle East, and troops that are in the midst of nearly 50 million people socked in a blizzard.
And while the president's economic agenda was thrown into chaos after the Supreme Court struck down his preferred method of imposing global tariffs, he's expected to continue to promote levies in the State of the Union. In Washington, Amy Morris, Bloomberg Radio.
okay, done messing around with that. Let's get these screenshots. Basically, what we're doing is we're taking the ES26 futures because the market is open right now. For the futures market, it's 23 hours a day, so it's been going for the most part all night, okay, except for a 1 hour break, right? The next to it is the SPX, which is the index that we trade. That is our trading instrument that we use. We use the ES as a precursor to the XPX. It is a part of the same index. We use it we use the ES as a precursor. It's like a preview because it's already been trading. The SPX will open up and catch the tail end of the ES futures. Pretty close. We determine the bias. So we determine whether or not it's a bull or a bear bias. Is it going up or down? As you can see over to the left on the ES26 chart, we are in what appears to be a bullish acceptance of the VWAP. That's what we want to know. We want to know the direction that price is headed in because as we'll soon see, as you've been learning, there are targets. So there are price targets that smart money institutions drive the price to. They're able to do it with algorithms that buy and sell the instrument, the index SPX, and they can drive price, they can up, they can push price down. So looks like right now we're in an uptrend. You see the big green candle sitting on the VWAP right here. See that? My crosshairs. There you go. That's what we call a bullish engulfing candle. It is not acceptance of the VWAP, but it is going in that direction. What I mean by it's not accepted the VWAP is because it's sitting on the VWAP, and we want to see 2 5-minute candles that are green above the VWAP, and that is an indicator that the VWAP has the potential to be accepted. The reason I say potential is because we're waiting for a retest once it's been accepted. We want price to go up, then come back down to the VWAP, and then go back up again. That is a confirmation that smart money has committed to going in the bull go with the bull bias. Okay, so with that being said, I'm gonna go ahead and take a screenshot. This is a part of that higher agency I was talking about. Yes, we do use AI. We use Grace, my chat GPT. You need to give yours a name. It will become very, very useful for you in your trading. I do rely on it every day. It does make mistakes, so you do have to proofread. What I mean by mistakes is the numbers are sometimes off, so compare them to the chart and what you see, and you'll be able to tell your GPT that it made a mistake.
These are the sounds of not seeing things clearly. This is the sound.
Okay, so I've got my outline, my smart money outline along with the screenshot. I've sent the outline out a couple times already. I posted it in the group chat that I have with the tribe. If you're not a part of that group chat, just send me a text. You should all have my number. Let me know if you don't have the outline that goes along with the screenshot, because it has specific questions you want answers to that ChatGPT can extract from the screenshot. So it saves you a lot of technical analysis time.
It's all right here on TuneIn. Ready to set the perfect 70s tone. Search Soul Group or tell your device. Play Soul Group on TuneIn now to listen.
Tune in town, too. A brief look at all the special functions and things you might not know we have.
TuneIn has got your favorite podcasts, from sports to special interests. Did you know that you can listen to all your favorites offline? It's simple. Just head to any podcast page, tap the three little dots next to the episode title, and hit download. Whether it's true crime, lifestyle, health, and science, or anything else, stream your favorite podcasts and listen to them anytime, anywhere.
Or anywhere you get your podcasts.
This is Bloomberg Surveillance with Tom Keene and Paul Sweeney on Bloomberg Radio.
Good morning. There's so much going on right now. Very quickly, I want to squeeze this in. Net Weekly publishing for the State of the Union a ministry article moments ago. Additional State of the Union for small business. We spend all the time in that.
Okay, it's doing my analysis right now. So while it's doing that, oh, here it is. Okay.
Some I did with, of course, Dr. Pepper, the Keurig brewing systems, Snapple Canada Dry. Didn't realize they owned Bai, Crush, Mott's applesauce. Yeah, pretty big portfolio.
I just don't drink it often. I don't see that.
You don't see it, right? Yeah, I don't know. It's got like a weird aftertaste for me, but
It's definitely unique.
each to his own. All right. They're offering an upbeat forecast for full year sales, and they expect a boost from their planned buyout of the Dutch coffee maker Peet's. You know, you see Peet's. We don't have a lot here in the city, but it's happening because there was a lot of skepticism over the amount of debt that Keurig was taking on acquiring Peet's. So the company earlier this week said it was going to raise an additional $1.5 billion in capital in an effort to reduce its leverage.
Thank you for doing this. I just, folks, I use Google Gemini here. That's what we use for them to try to make our conversation smoother.
Like, so a roadmap did not include the numeric numbers. It just gave me the concept. So, like I'm saying, I have to resubmit the request.
That'd be interesting. All right.
It does that sometimes. I thought I had it trained to give me the numeric live levels, but sometimes it forgets.
I think the problem here is the growth is not as robust as Wall Street expected. So it's another one of those expectations. Yeah, the bar is now so high. It expects adjusted earnings to grow 9 to 10%, revenue to increase about 9%, and it's going to see revenue climb. Yeah, revenue climbed 11% last quarter. Also, over
Okay, I'm having some response issues. Sorry. Glad we got started on time because this is
What really happened here is
not cooperating.
the market is very strong right
The American stock market is down, with the S&P 500 down 1.0%, the Nasdaq Composite Index down 1.1%, and the Dow Jones Industrial Average down 1.7%. SPX and SPY update.
because they're hoping they're different enough that it'll pass muster, but now the SEC is also bringing action against them. So things have heard some real challenges there for the company.
Okay, I'm gonna have to do a restart.
There was a number of different treatments through the day. Alexis, a number of interesting stocks. Gary Puckett is 83. He was ginormous there a few State of the Unions ago. Gary Puckett, million guy.
All right, this is gonna take a few minutes. Hopefully you have your smart money roadmaps printed out and are analyzing and reviewing them. I'll catch up in a second.
Is Bloomberg Surveillance with Tom Keene and Paul Sweeney.
What's the process forward to choose an area? Where is value out there in fixed income world?
With Alexis Christophers on markets, stock up 47%, and Michael Baugh with news.
President spoke to reporters on board Air Force One.
The best in economics, finance, investment, and international relations. Bloomberg Surveillance on Bloomberg Radio, Bloomberg Originals, and the Bloomberg Business app.
Good morning, everyone. Tom Keene, Paul Sweeney, Michael Barr, Alexis Christophers here today at the State of the Union. Our coverage tonight from Matthew and Katie Lines is lots of interesting treatments within the market this morning. 10-year yield 403, 402 is now 4104. But Bitcoin, to be polite, can't get a bid.
Can't get a bid here, Tom. We're seeing just below $63,000 per token, down 2.7% today. But again, Tom, probably 10 days ago, it hit 60,000 and bounced off of that. We'll see what happens again.
If I do a fancy little return here on BitDog, I mean, I'm not going to be inflammatory and say it's a trade away from 59,000, but you begin to consider that.
Yeah. Yep.
The low was $60,033 per couple cents here.
Yeah. People that are buying it, it's 80, 90, $120,000 per token. And I'm assuming those folks are out. You've got the diehards stepping in.
The future's up 11, Dow futures up 155. There's a solidity to the market, maybe AMD. Thank you, Ed Ludlow. We could early in the morning for Mr. Ludlow and for him to get up. You know, he's going to open day. He's going to be at lunch at 11:30 today.
I looked at the wine list for the angle.
Oh, yeah. It's
Burns,
amazing.
like Burns in Tampa. Unbelievable wine
That's
list.
the way Ludlow. You married
Yeah.
Columbus.
Yeah, I mean, it's
You know, pop up $300 lunches. The angler as well. Lots going on though within the market. It's fascinating to see how the software conundrum is going to work out and all the news and really Bloomberg technology to the forefront there with Caroline Hyde and Ed Ludlow. Let's get our conversation started for this 9 o'clock hour. Emily Rufeo with us later as well. Scheduled Austin Woolsby right now. George Bory with us, Chief Investment Strategist, fixed income at Allspring as well. George, what is the significance of a 10-year close, price up, yield down of 3.99%? Is that a big deal?
Well, I think, thanks again for having me on the show. Good morning, everyone. It is a big-ish deal. Bond yields have come down, let's call it about 15 basis points or so, kind of further out the curve. So we've started the year with really a bull flat. Bond yields in general have come down. The long end has come down faster than the front end. Why it's a big deal is because the market's comfortable with the inflation narrative that we're seeing kind of spread across the economy, but some concerns about growth are starting to sort of show in bond market. We've got, kind of long yields coming down. As I mentioned, I think the 30 years down almost 15 basis points since the beginning of the year. That's helping bond prices. So yields down, prices up. So bond returns look pretty good. But we also have some wider spreads. So volatility is starting to pick up, but it's still low by historical standards. And we think that is the important message for bond investors to keep in mind that we're going through an adjustment phase with growth expectations moderating a bit, but inflation remaining firmly well anchored. That's helping to drive good, strong, positive total returns in bond markets.
George, in 2025, across most of the bond markets, got solid, total returns. In 2026, is not a bad way to make a living there for some of the yields.
Yeah, I think cooking coupons is what we do in bonds. So fortunately, there's plenty of that to do, both in treasuries, corporates, high yield, and even municipals. But we think it's good coupons plus a little bit more. There's two big factors kind of driving through the bond market. One is, as you mentioned, the term structure. Yields are coming down just a bit. And so we're still in a bit of a range, but yields have been notching a little bit lower. That helps just kind of drive that little extra return. But more importantly, talked about it on the show. We've certainly been talking about it, over the last several weeks. There's a narrative in the market around rotation within markets, bond markets, as well as equity markets. AI is having a big impact on companies, funding strategies, and on risk taking. That drives relative returns, and that's helping us as we rotate from one side to the other. Extra bit of
Okay, so let's do this review of the Smart Money Roadmap. We've got about 20 minutes before the market opens, so a decent amount of time to go over this and get some coffee before the show starts. All right, so I'm looking at, first thing I notice is a developing range, 618 to 643. So we are in the upper half of that range. Okay. So again, looking at the ES, we are, and it looks like VWAP is being tested right now as I am speaking. So we are potentially getting a flip. Looks like it was below the VWAP, went above the VWAP. See the big green candle? I'll point it out right here. We have a bullish engulfing candle and two 5-minute candles on top of that. However, you can see that it did a reversal. So that was potentially a trap unless the VWAP is reclaimed. So this is the retest I was talking about. So it claimed the VWAP. We see a red candle with a upper wick. That would be a hammer, a pin bar. And then we see two bearish candles and looks like a third. starting to form underneath the VWAP. So this could be a potential VWAP rejection. Again, this is on the ES chart, but this could be a potential VWAP rejection, and it is a flip from the bull to the bear. All right, so what we're seeing is a regime flip, a bias flip, potentially. Again, we don't make predictions. We want confirmations. We want a confirmation. So we have probability. So this is probably a rejection of the VWAP, but this is where we just let the price come to us. We don't chase it. We let it come to us. I'll elaborate on that in just a moment as we continue to go through the smart money roadmap analysis. Just wanted to point that out. So again, the screenshot that I took has notes to compare the ES to the SPX. So it's doing a translation. Even though the SPX is not trading at the moment, it will not open up for another 18 minutes or so. We're able to look at the ES and determine right now about where the SPX will open up and the general target it will go after at the opening. Again, I have an overnight trade that I'm looking to close. Right now, price is maybe right in the middle. I might get 50% on the first trade of the day, the first close of the day. I won't call it the first trade of the day because I actually opened it yesterday, but I'll close it today and hopefully get, we'll see how much I get. I'm expecting maybe about $500-ish. Again, my daily goal is $1,500 to $2,000 at this point, dealing with this new platform. I'm going to scale 3 accounts simultaneously. So each account I expect to produce about 10,000 daily for the first week. I'm sorry, not daily. We'll say weekly. That's the upper part of the goal. I will settle for 15, 36, about 7,500 to 10,000 for the week. That would be a success. That would be an A+ week. Okay, so this week we're shooting for 7,500 to 10K. Anything less than that, my grade goes down. All right. Seeing that it's Wednesday, we'll see. Main thing is not to lose money, so keep that in mind. Okay, so I'm looking at the previous day's high. Because that's where we're going to draw our box, the previous day's high, and we're going to draw our box at the previous day's low. Okay, so I'll go ahead and draw the box right now. I want to use a higher time frame on that, so I'm going to go, I like 30-minute time frame, I guess. However, there's a lot of traders that swear by the 4-hour. So let's take those. Those candles are huge. We're not used to huge candles like that. Let's shrink them down a little bit. Okay, that's more like what we see. 4-hour candle.
President Trump has pretty much without exception tried to address himself with the American people. Sometimes it's resonated
inflation and perceptions of inflation. And it's true that we've seen core inflation fall quite a bit since he took office for the second time, but headline inflation has really remained about where it was.
Just was talking to, I'm loving this, Matt Winkler doing this with Sugar Pay. Gabe Hagan, owner of Brick Road Community Corp.
Getting conflicting information. So I'm just shifting through it, trying to see what I want to work with.
I guess added level of uncertainty that we had coming Friday with the Supreme Court and the tariffs. How's the Fed thinking these days? We've seen a lot of
Looking at the 30-minute time frame.
data, we've seen a lot of GDP data. We've now got, I guess, more different.
Um,
What am I doing? Am I just going to sit on my hands here? Yeah, well, I mean, first of all, I would just say that I think that the ruling on tariffs from the Supreme Court is something that within a few months, the administration will be able to get around using other authorities. And they've already tariffs.
yeah, this is the 30-minute. I'm going to use that. 30-minute previous day. 13th. Okay, that's the 13th. 23rd.
Right or wrong, seems to have made peace with a sixth consecutive year of inflation above target. And what has really shifted the
Yep, there's our box.
over the past year
We're going to use that 6917. You might come up with something a slight bit different, but that's okay.
past week, unsurprisingly, since we had this very strong January jobs report. And I still think that price in there.
And 6814. Okay, so that's what I'm going with. 6917, 6814, previous days high, previous days low. And I am going to the drawing tool, pick my shape. We're going to use the rectangle, and I'm going to start it here.
On a broad basis. In fact, if anything, tariffs have made a little tougher on them.
And I'm going to bring it there. So there's our first box. All right. I'm going to switch it back to the 15, see what happens. Still there. Okay, so I'm going to make that a little bigger.
Have to raise it above the $30 number. I'm hearing you reporting at $32.
Oop, don't want to move the box.
But again, if you're the paramount deal, I'm the seller here. I look at the pro forma capital structure and I don't like it. Too much debt on the balance sheet. I think that's going to hurt my ability to grow the business.
Boom, full screen. Okay. There, we'll go with that. Okay, that's the trade zone. We don't want to trade in the middle necessarily. All right. I'll tell you about that. I'm gonna try a new strategy today. I'll break it down. Basically, gonna draw two boxes. If the VWAP gets rejected, I'm gonna cut the field in half. And have a box above the VWAP and below the VWAP. So I think that will help make easier decisions on entries and exits. We'll see how that goes. Okay, so got the highs and the lows, got the box. I currently have the VWAP at 68.30 through 68.35. There's an upper VWAP at 6848 and a lower VWAP at 6815. No, it's not outlined, but if you wanted to see them both, I would flip over to the TOS, Thinkorswim charts, and it will show you the three VWAP lines for, well, let's see. Let's see if I had a TOS over here. Oh boy, it's got a lot going on there. Okay. Can we get in? Nope. Okay, I'm not gonna go through all that. It's on my phone, as well as, I'm not gonna go through the login process and do all that. But anyway, the main VWAP line that we're working with is 630, 630, 6830, and 6835. So it's through that range. We've got some reaction levels. Hopefully you know how to look at the support and resistance levels, but if not, I'll just go ahead and point them out real quick. Time's going fast. We got support and resistance levels at 6843, 6860, 689. So I always look at the most extreme levels because price could go as far as. But again, we're using the box, so we don't really have to look at the lower level, the middle level, and the higher level. We just look at the higher level, which is 6916 on the resistance side. That would be the high of the day. So I've got a range of 6889 through 6916. And then we've got support levels, which are the downside, headed towards the low here. Starting at 6830, 6818, as low as 6792. That's pretty low. And if you look over at the ES futures, VWAP has been rejected, so we will most likely start in a bear. VWAP's been rejected, so we'll leave it at that. I'm not going to predict the direction of the market at this point, other than VWAP's been rejected and we are in a bear bias on the ES. We'll wait and see the direction of the SPX. So I have the true institutional supply zone at 6860 through 6880. And the demand zone 6790 through 6810. We've got liquidity pools and targets, highest probabilities first, 6830, 6843, 6818, 6889, and the deepest is the 6792. Okay, we've got a chop zone at 6818 through 6843. We'll see most likely price chopping right there. Give or take 10 points on the VWAP around 6830, could be 10 points, 6820 through 6840 VWAP. Okay, so that's it for the little review. Keep in mind we may have to revise it upon market open, depending on if we see that the targets are being addressed as the smart money roadmap has given us. It's saying that the first target is 6830. If 6830, which would be below the current price of 6837 where it closed out at. So if we see it go down a little bit, 6830, and then start chopping around 6820,
No early trades.
then we're on track, the roadmap is valid. If not, and we see it do something different, we'll take a new screenshot, submit it with the same questions that we asked to get the first roadmap, and we'll revise the roadmap and we'll proceed accordingly from there. All right, we've got 5 minutes to market open. It is time for a coffee break before the show starts. All right, be back in hopefully 5 minutes. All right.
First quarter liquidity sweep lockout. Market open. No trades during volatility. Observe only. Q1 smart money psychology lets trick retail into buying so we can offload. Sweep confirmation. Volume confirms sweeps, breakouts, exhaustion. Sweep volume spikes 150 to 220% of the prior 20 VAR average. Occurs at or through the previous day's high or previous day's low. Overnight high or overnight low. Sweep completion continued. Occurs at prior liquidity cluster, single impulse candle, no chop, immediate range rejection or stall after the spike. Breaks key level by 3 to 8 points. A fake sweep, 130% volume, overlapping candles, price holds above or below with no rejection.
All right. What do we have here? Okay, we are, looks like, my chart timed out while I was gone. Let's see, on a couple of my charts, I have us at the VWAP line. Let's look at the ES line at the top left. We can see the VWAP line is bending down. So has been rejected at this point. We are in a bearish regime. I am looking at looks like it's going to the previous day's low. And we'll see what happens there. Looks like that's our first liquidity sweep of the day. I have the previous day's low over here on the lower right chart at about 622, although I saw it go lower than that. It was at like 68.19. But we'll let this liquidity sweep take place at the 68.22 level. And let's see what's going on in the lower levels. Well, I've got a demand zone identified at 6790 through 6810. That is a demand zone, so we could see price go as low as 6790. I have, like I said, an overnight play where I am positioned at on the put side, seeing that that's the direction we're going in. That's going to get my immediate attention, right? So I have a put at 675. That's my short put, 675, and my long put is 670. So I would say that that is well positioned and outside of the demand zone at 67906810. So we'll see where price goes. We let it come to us. Right now it's at the bottom part of the box. However, I'm going to take a look at this new study I've been using, which is the ATR, average true range. Looks like the candles are moving pretty, and I would say that's about average, but they're big. Some big candles headed in that direction. The average true range is 9.92, which is double what we would enter a condor at. So a good condor ATR would be about 4 to 5. Right now, as you can see, it's double almost, and so we just sit back and let it happen, which brings up a key point. I used to hear, that options trading in the stock market's not rocket science. And that's a lie. It is. It is. There's a lot of study involved, so I'm not going to mislead you. I've used several different strategies, a few different studies and indicators, different lines, and I have come to a place where I use the VWAP. I look at the 9-day, which are these lines down here, the orange one and the white one, the 9-day EMA, exponential moving averages, 9-day and 20-day. But I don't really use them that much, which is why they're on the bottom. I have started using the ATR, which is over here, because I like to see how at the rate of how fast is it moving, how big are the candles going in a specific direction. I like to use the RSI, which is here and here, because it shows the strength of the move. It shows whether or not it's oversold or overbought. So who's in control, buyers or sellers? Right now, okay, we're starting to see some reversal action at 6815. So this could be a potential entry right here, seeing that we're at the bottom of the square. That would be a great place to enter. Well, we're still waiting to see what happens, but on the 1-minute chart, I'm seeing the huge bullish engulfing candle. That is definitely an institutional size candle. So smart money has done a sweep. You see the wicks down here at the bottom. You see that pin bar, and then you see the hammer. Those are definitely indicators that smart money has done a sweep at the lower liquidity level, 68.15, and is now headed back towards the high, right? Wow, okay. So we're seeing a nice little bit of volatility. My trade is currently at 105. So I'm pretty sure I can get more out of it. And we'll just let it cook because it's not being threatened at the moment. And the goal is 50%, 20%. We'll see. I'll evaluate as it go. It's going up. Profits are now at 252. So I'm halfway there. Yeah, you have to be careful doing the overnight trades because you don't have very much control over it, which is fine. But we are watching out for overnight catalysts like news, like what's going on with the tariffs, what's going on in Iran, what's going on in Mexico. We've got a couple different situations. However, there hasn't been much bleed in the market. I love that. The market is its own entity. It's not tied to politics or, well, it is, but it's not. It's like, what is going to affect the market prices. yeah, it doesn't quite make sense to me. Oh, good. Got a message. I don't think Mark minds. He just pulled his profits out of the overnight trade. He loves them. He thinks they're really cool. He closed his out already. I had a wider spread on mine. So my midway is going to be about 68.50-ish. So when price gets closer to 68.50-ish, then I'll be like closing out also. Speaking of which, oh, no, I'm at 69.25. I had a huge spread. So my play is like extremely safe. And I'll explain why. 69.25 is my high end, and 6775 is my top end. So that's Jesus. 6925, 125, 150. So I had a 150 point spread, which is outstanding because that's a very safe play. So 75. Yeah, so I'm gonna be at about, I should be getting pretty close. $68.50 is my neighborhood, which is where we are right now. Try not to let greed interfere with my decision making. Don't want to overstay my welcome. However, looks like we've already done a sweep of the lower box. We're still in the lower box zone. Starting to see some wicks at about 68.50. Candles are getting smaller. We're in the developing range. VWAP is at 6. So we've, reclaimed the VWAP. VWAP is being reclaimed. We're waiting for a solid confirmation, but we are back at the VWAP. Looks like my middle is right at the VWAP. So I'm going to, I'm at 406 right now. We're at the VWAP. Where's our chop zone? I may just want to let it sit in the chop zone and cook a little bit to get more profits and premium. So I'm trying not to be greedy, but at the same time, I want the most amount of profits I can get within reason, within logic. So what I'm doing is I'm trying to see if I can develop the chop zone.
First trade window open. Only expansion trades allowed. Displacement is required.
Ah, 68.20 through 68.40. That's the chop zone. What I'm gonna go ahead and do is take a new screenshot. I'm feeling like I want a new Yeah, a new chart, a new roadmap. So, 30. So 30. Okay, new roadmap coming up. See that first trade window when it was down at the bottom of the box would have been good, but I'm already in a trade right now and I'm looking to close the overnight out. So didn't move on that. And I'm gonna go ahead. All right, we're starting to see, we see a pin bar at the top there. Starting to see the wicks start turn up. So slowing down at 6865, we'll see what happens right there. On my, I have a, let's go 30 minute over here. And on the 30 minute, we can see a bullish engulfing candle at 6865. On the 5 minute, we're starting to see some red though. And on the 1 minute, we're starting to see red. And on the ES, we're starting to see red right after the VWAP was claimed. So this is not confirmation that the VWAP has been reclaimed. We are looking for the retest. So price will return back to the VWAP and decide its real direction. This is where a lot of traders get faked out and trapped. So we will see if you did make an entry at the lower part of the box. I would say that that's okay. That's quite okay. If it was below the 68.15 and at a safe range from the, yeah, I think that would have been a safe play. Keeping in mind the demand range is 6790 to 6810. So there's a possibility that that demand zone could be tapped. And I have a new roadmap coming. All right, my trade is up to 434. And we should be hitting a chop zone pretty soon. Our price will be returning back to the VWAP, which would be in my, should be right smack dab in the middle of my profit zone. Yeah, so brings up a good point to talk about. I didn't cover the overnight trade last night. I'm primarily a day trader, but that is classified as a 1 DTE. 1 DTE, 1 day to expiration trade. When you enter it at, say, 12:30, market closes at 1 and you're looking to close it out first thing next morning, that is a 1 day trade. So that's a trade that's also available to our guys that are in the office attending meetings like Cool Hat Matt, like Walt. You guys would want to consider the overnight trades. During the power hour, I'll talk more about that. Power hour is 12 to 1, so we start preparing for it at 11:30 and start getting those trades ready. So for our working guys, our professional people, Leon, at the office and so forth, working on patients. If you on a daily just look at the 12 to 1 hour, it could be a good hour especially for the 0 DTE, 0 day to expiration trades. The 1 to 12 trade could be a good trade. We'll go over those strategies a little later this morning. I'll try to start like no later than 11:30, but I'll be going over those strategies as soon as I get back from my training session, which should be about 11. We'll just say 11:30. We'll leave it at that. I do believe I heard that, I'll confirm it, but I do believe I heard NVIDIA's earnings are tomorrow. Now that is something that could impact the market. NVIDIA is the biggest, most profitable company in the world. So depending on what their report is, the market's gonna go in a direction. It's either gonna go up or it's gonna go down. But NVIDIA will have an impact. Their earnings will have an impact on tomorrow's price action. So we need to find out exactly what time that's happening. Let's see, price is about 500. So I'm at about 50% right now. I'm gonna go ahead and take that. Yeah, so I'm in pending status on that trade. So we're at the VWAP line. It's being tested right now. Tested again. This is that retest I was talking about. But I'll go ahead and close this trade out, and hopefully we'll get a nice profit. It's just going back and forth right now. I think that it's going between the bid, mid, and ask. So that's another thing towards closeout is we are buying back the contracts. So the sellers are asking, a price that is relatively high. I think if we go to the mid, though, the market makers will, give us better consideration. I'm right at my price. Oh, okay. It closed out. Got $400. Like there was a lot of volatility there, so price was going up and down. Ended up getting $400. That's cool. So now I'm in position to do another trade. Looking for the A+ setup here. Yeah, so I'm going to go back to the Smart Money Roadmap and refocus on the next trade. Okay, back in trade mode. Looks like, where are we at here? Looks like... Well, the top of that wick, I'm on the 30-minute up there. And think previous days high, previous days low. And I'm looking to see where I want to make my next entry. So I'm gonna look at a couple different charts, draw some boxes here. Doing a little analysis. Well, let's see. You stay on your charts. I'm going to take a peek at something a little different. You can roll with me. Uh-oh. Oh, okay, we'll go ahead and do this. Yeah. Oh, there it is. Okay, this is something that I discovered on TradeStation. This is the SP.X. So this is a cousin to the SPW. It tracks identically the same. However, it gets its own VWAP that can be applied to the SPXW. So this is another reason I'm enjoying this TradeStation platform is because of the charting. Okay, so I'll go ahead and share it with you. This is the 5-minute view, and this is showing precisely the action of the VWAP on the 5-minute chart. It's showing us everything we want to know. Look at that, how clean it is. It's a beautiful thing, isn't it? I'd love for you guys to come over to TradeStation and just start scaling into that account. It does require a $2,000 minimum, but you can, just start putting a little bit here and there into there and get access to these charts. And so this is a true test of the VWAP at 68.42. Okay, so we'll have confirmation of direction in just a few minutes. Take a second to see if I can turn on the highs and lows. I like to know those. I don't see them. Okay, I'm not going to waste too much time trying to find them. But what I wanted was, let's see, what's the date on this? Is this today? I think 23rd, 24. But we want previous days, highs and lows. 20, there's our day. 23-ish, right there, okay. So I want to draw a box. Oh, but this one, let's see, the box has to be like this. Yeah, having fun. Okay. There's the top of the box. And this will be the bottom. Aha, masterpiece. So now we have a box. I don't like that color. I think we can do better on the color. Aha. Something more vibrant, right? Aqua blue. Yeah, let's go aqua blue. Or will that show? Yeah, violet, blue, blue, or gold. Oh, let's go gold. The box is a golden box. I like it. Ah, I like that. that the same gold? Oh, I think so. Yeah. Okay, there's our box. Previous day's high, previous day's low. Oh, looks like the VWAP might be accepted. So we want to see this 5-minute candle close, and then we want to see the close of another 5-minute candle, and then we can enter a bullish trade. At that point, we'll put the put below the VWAP by about 10 points, and then we'll look at the upper targets. So we have the beginning of a trade. Oui, oui, monsieur. Good stuff. Bonjour. For our one-day trade today, we'll do one short expiration. Not sure if I want to do an overnight trade, but just think about what you have said. And just be careful. And overnight is not what I consider being careful. Okay, check. Right, so we're just waiting for confirmation of the VWAP. Right now, the candle's sitting on top of it. We don't move on that. We want this candle to close and see another 5-minute candle close before we make any moves. That's the confirmation that we're looking for. That's the commitment we'll act upon. I was in the process of doing a new analysis of the market structure. This is called market structure, and we are analyzing. Hope you're tracking along with me. Gotta get rid of the old one. Key is to stay organized, clean, neat, quiet all the noise in your life, let you be in tune. Brings up another point. If you're distracted, it's not a good idea to do this. Got to be in the right frame of mind to make sound decisions. It's a game of chess, not checkers. keep saying that. Actually, the bottom line should be on the lower wick. There, change the line. And it should be on the upper wick. There, change the line. Although you can't see it, it's hiding behind the VWAP. It's at 69.19. 69.16, sorry. Okay, so we have a developing range of 69.15 through, 68.15 through 69.16. So that's our range. So we can expect price between 6815 and 6916 for our day. So we're gonna look at the mid-range. Mid-range is 6866. So the red candle that's forming above the V-wick is not confirmation, okay? So we are in a don't trade pattern right now until we see a strong move to the upside. Let's see, I'm just a little bit stoked. I just want to share with you. I can't think of too many other professions that I would have made, $400 in 30 minutes in. And I'm looking to make on this next trade, hopefully another $500 to $600 puts me at $1,000 for the day. And then the 12 to 1 trade, hopefully that puts me at another $1,000 for the day, so I'll end at $2,000 today, or somewhere in that neighborhood. Again, the goal today is 15 to 2,000. So this is the part where if you've got to go to work, you got to tune out, come back to the 11:30 if possible, and we'll get you set up for the 12 to 1 trade if you want to see how that works. Because right here is a game of patience, waiting for the A+ setup. And that comes once we see a commitment in the sand. Right now, we're consolidating at the VWAP line. It wouldn't be a bad time to make a consolidation entry between the lines. Yeah, it'd be good to do a 6-8 2-0 entry, 6-8-1-5 below there, and above the upper part of the VWAP, which would be upper 68, 69. So if we did like an iron condor with the wingspan above 6869 and below 6835, that could be a good play. Condors do best when there's consolidation, and this is what I would call consolidation. Why aren't I entering my iron condor right now? Well, because I do what's called a broken wing iron condor, a BWIC, which means I tend to place my strikes on one side or the other closer to the money. Okay, so I don't place the in the money strike. I play at the money or close to the money. It's still out of the money, but you know, it's very close to the money. The premiums, the credits are higher that way. So I place it right above a target or a demand zone, supply zone, liquidity cluster. I place it right above there because I don't expect price to go any higher, or I place it below because I don't expect it to go any lower, and I expand on one side. So that's the strategy I most commonly employ. I get higher profits that way, but you know, it's not a bad idea to play the consolidation condor either. Okay, so we're starting to see, you know, we just saw a sizable green candle, but again, we want to see two of them before we consider it a commitment on the smart money team. Okay, this is turning out to be the candle we were looking for. Okay, so with that being said, while it's filling up, I am going to look at the upper targets. Let's see, the previous day high was 6916. That's at the top of the gold bars, which is our imaginary box, right? So that could be a target. Resistance. Okay, so 6880. Target 1, target 2, 6900. The grand poobah, 6916. So those are the resistance levels that we're looking at. The true institutional supply zone is 6880 through 6920. 6880 is going to be target number 1, and an extended target is 6920. So that is the entry that I'm looking at this moment. Those are the upper targets. We're still in quarter 1, opening drive, and VWAP establishment in the first quarter is what we are looking at. And I'm waiting for this second green candle to close before I execute an entry. Looks like we may get it. Yeah, the reason we wait for this candle to close, it could still be a trap and a trick. So we're watching out for traps and tricks because they're for kids. We're professionals. So while that's happening, I'm gonna go ahead and open up the option chain and start taking a look at the deltas, strike placement, making sure that I have the correct expiration date, February 24th. I am on the SPXW index, and I am going to look at the puts first. I'm going to make sure I come in underneath the VWAP line. So VWAP is currently at 68.44, and my entry is going to be approximately 10 to 15 points beneath that, which is a safe distance. It takes like a Scud missile or Patriot missile or something to get that low. So gonna do 68.45. So I'm gonna start on the put side and look at the 68.45. That's beneath the VWAP. Well, no, that is the VWAP, so we want to go below that. Okay, if we go 10 points below, that's still a 20 delta. That's profitable. That's decent. I like the 20 delta. So that would be at 68.35. So buy the 68.35, sell the 68.30. And then we'll go to the puts. And the target is 69.20. So we want to be above 69.20 on the call side. So 69. So that delta is going to be small, because that's not where we're making our profit. We're not making our money there. So it's going to be smaller, but safe. Okay, so 6920, I would go, Yeah, Delta's like really skinny. I'll go 6925 and 6930. That's not very much higher, but it's higher. And then review. Oops, that's not a proper review. Okay, so gonna look it over before I send it. Make sure it says Iron Condor on it. And look at my strikes. 6835 put, selling that one and buying the 6830 underneath it. We're selling the call at 6925 and selling the one above it at 6930. That's cool. I think I'm gonna play this one a little different. I'm gonna let price come to us. I'm gonna let it get where it's going, and then I'll
Continuation or reversal decision track.
play.
Day chop zone. Range behavior likely. Capital protection phase.
I'm gonna play this.
Smart money psychology. Let
Hey,
them
Grace.
keep prices stably accumulate quietly.
Oh, that was Georgia, my AI. She kept interrupting me. Anyway, I was saying that I'm playing the top. So we're going to play the top of the box. We're going to let price come to us, get to the top of the box. I got one day trade and I just want to maximize it. So price should continue the upward move to 6,900 and then a possible extension to 6,916, which is the previous day's high. And once it gets in that range, I'll reevaluate and execute an entry for sure. But it's going to take a minute. As you can see, the RSI isn't pushing too well. It's got some push to it. I think it's at about 70 right now, which is pretty high. And our ATR is 13. So that's got some push. It's got some strength. So it should reach its destination shortly. But in the meantime, we're just going to be patient and let it do what it do. Okay, and yeah, I think this is where I take a break. We're just waiting for it to get there. You can keep your eye on it. I'll keep my eye on it, and we'll reconvene in about 15 minutes. Yeah. lost revenues for you since you started this thing. And I was gonna start it in January because that's when you were expecting it. So we're like 2 to 3, almost 3 months. We'll say 2 official. And if Ryan is saying like, oh, 250,000 a year, then we take 2 months out of that 12 months and say, here's what's missing. So here's a part of that forecast that you threw out there, that because this project took so long, this is lost revenue.
Saying 250,000 and we threw all this money into it and had, multiple people working on it and doing like however he wants to lay that out, where it's not just me on the.
Got it. So then scale it back, and then what would be your forecast for 2 months if you had this operating in the way that you had figured? Yeah, you have to do like a business forecast. And then I was even thinking, we
I
need
wanted to at least be able to, at least be up to 5,000 a month. We're
Okay.
very close to that. We're barely over $2,000.
that's what I wanted to. So,
Just me.
so essentially you were expecting this to impact your bottom line by $2,000 a month. Okay, which is not far-fetched, it's very realistic and, okay. So you are about $4,000 behind forecast. So if it should come up in our conversation, which I'm sure it will at some point, I will mention that. Because, yeah, I mean, there's been so much disruption on so many levels with him and so much chaos. I'll be unpacking for a while. So at some point, because I'm sure like it's gonna be a minute before I can quiet his chaos down and his disruption.
I think we can maybe try to start it with like, he's just listen, can we spend the first, have a time limit, like, I need the floor for 15 minutes.
Okay.
And then the floor is open to you. But please do not interrupt, do not come around, do not do anything, but just listen. Because I just have things, take notes if you need to, but I have things that I want to address. And I think the big thing is just to be staying calm and not being upset.
Okay, I'll commit to like the first 10 minutes. Because we only have 30. And I'll commit to the first 10 minutes of just calm and silent. Well, yeah, and then at some point the mic is going to have to transfer over. So you can start it, 10-minute time limit, and then I get the last 10 minutes. Or vice versa. One way or the other, it'll go that way. Okay. And then we'll probably have to set up a different time or whatever to talk again, but those are the things that I will mention is the loss of revenue, the chaos, the disruption.
I think it's important to talk about how many different avenues he went down with me that was just so confusing for me that, and just feeling like our time, because I didn't have much time with him. So whenever he'd make meetings, it was like, okay, I have this amount of time, that he would say things that were unnecessary, like, well, there's this way of doing this, but whatever, I don't like that feed. Then don't bring it up. And then having me download apps, but then being later like, no, we're not gonna use that. And so then I just didn't even know where we were, and it was just very confusing. And now I'm left to clean up the mess because I'm like, I don't know which ones we're actually using. And we never actually actually did a run through of like, okay, this is how this works. And so now I'm like, okay, I don't even know how to get my existing clients in this system, which is what I've been concerned about from the beginning, and I've brought that up to him multiple times, that I need to get something going to where I feel like I've got a system in place. And having all these new clients come to me and not know what I'm supposed to tell them as far as, because we just got the pricing completely figured out within this last couple of weeks. Not even a couple weeks, like last week and a half, to where it was finalized. So it's just, it's been a lot of chaos, and now he's like, here you go, handing it over to you. And I think that's another issue I have. I saw an email where on the 21st, which is Saturday, because remember how he kept saying, if you don't get back to me, then I'm just gonna have to hand this over to you, fully hand this over to you. And I'm like, but when did that become a thing? When I decided I wasn't gonna put more money into it? Because you never spoke on that before. You were always like, I'm not gonna just leave you hanging. I'm not gonna just like, you know, well, you haven't even shown me how to use it. You haven't even run through everything and told me, okay, this is what you want to do with your existing clients. This is how you get them in this system. This is where the money goes. This is how it goes. This is the accounts that are holding the money, and you need to download the app and have a yearly subscription in order to use that. I don't have any of that, and you got butthurt and decided, okay, well, here you go. And that wasn't something you were doing before I decided I didn't want to put any money into it. And so that to me is like really like actually kind of hurtful, because it felt like, oh, if I'm not gonna like have some skin in it, which I have, by the way, I do have skin in it. I have $2,000 in it. So it kind of just felt like, well, if you're not going to give me more money, then here you go. And it's like, but that wasn't fine if you want to just hand it over to me, but at least make sure I know how the system is running and how I can get my existing clients into the system, and also how everything is tied together, how the payments are working, like how that's actually tied to my bank account.
Where's your paperwork that you have all those cannot?
Like the graphs and stuff, upstairs and the thing, which you can't
Yeah.
even read them.
Grab those.
And here's the other thing that we use. Are you camera on?
This is, I think, where the links are coming from. Blue Sky, Marketing Hub, Google Sheet, Non-Dashboard, Post Photo Services, Landing Service Group. This is what's coming through Google. This is another Google landing. Blogs, partnerships, reviews, social, Google, Blue Sky. Magnifying glass. See that one? This is another Blue Sky. Google. Blue Sky. Blue Sky. Google. Oh, okay, that's good news. So, I need to, like, go through the branches. I didn't see anything where she linked to my bank account.
He has my US bank account number and everything. I just need to know because he has something to link it to. Okay, what's the link to it? If I go into my US bank account, there's nothing, I don't see anything linked, to where.
Yeah, so these like branches need to be, I would suggest going to the Blue Sky and just hitting each branch. Just click until you get to the end of it. It's called the Blue Sky Opportunity Map. also search an email that he may have sent with that in the, you know, grass and bloom collect everything. And then yeah, we have to see where the branches go. Like there aren't that many. Oh, okay. All right, we're going to take a break right here. Be back in about 30 minutes or so. We're just letting price come to us, get to the previous day's high. It's on the way. We're seeing higher highs, higher lows, and it'll eventually get there. I've already taken a look ahead and kind of premeditated the strike price for the call. It'll be in the neighborhood of 69.35 on the sell call 69.35, buy call 69.40, and looking at the puts below the VWAP, lower VWAP. Right now it's 68.53, so somewhere about 68.40 or so will be the next trade. That'll be a day trade, 0 day to expiration. I'm expecting, high probability of profit on that one, and then get ready for the 12 to 1 trade. I will not be placing overnight trade today, seeing that, there's just too much uncertainty with the tariff situation and how President Trump's going to respond to that. Plus, we've got the situation in Iran, and we've got the cartel burning Mexico right now. So, yeah, that's just a little too much for me to place an overnight trade. So it will be a 12 to 1 hold to expiration trade, which should not count as a day trade. We can do that daily, but there is a specific strategy involved with that. So I'll be reviewing the strategy at about 11:30 to 12 o'clock. In the meantime, I am going to pause, take a break, even stop the stream from recording, or maybe I can just turn the mic off. I'll see if I can figure that out, and be back in, looks like, let me take a look at the ATR. Candles are about 8.5 points per candle or so. We're on a 5-minute chart. We're looking at it, and that looks like about 45 minutes of patience coming up. Okay, so I'll be back at 9 o'clock.